Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. You will have noticed we're pretty busy this evening. A few issues around housekeeping, first of all. My name's Tim Johnson. I'm the head teacher here at Norton College, and shortly I'm going to talk you through kind of our vision, our values, and what we stand for at Norton. Clearly, the world is constantly changing at the moment, and one of the unexpected aspects that we've hit more recently is around fuel and fuel shortages. So there are a small number of people who are joining us remotely this evening, which is why I'm standing here slightly awkwardly, masked from you by all this garb in front of me. So we are streaming this at the same time. In terms of our housekeeping this evening, we are not expecting to have a fire drill. We do have some kind of fire-orientated displays in science, and we do have some food cooking going on. So we're not expecting a fire drill. If we do get one, it is real, and we would ask you then just to join us on the school field, which is kind of at the far side of the buildings here. We hope that won't happen. Clearly, COVID continues to exist in our community, and in the interest really of everyone in that community, we are just asking if all adults could just wear a face covering, and thank you for doing so as you move around the college today. There is a lot of hand sanitizer around the college. You're very welcome to use that as you move. And similarly, in classroom spaces, you may find that certain areas become very busy, and we would just ask you to exercise really a bit of common sense around how busy those might be, and to move maybe away until they dissipate a little in terms of their busyness. So some of the staff may be keeping a little bit of social distancing. Again, that's just in the interest of the whole community and our safety. This is the first time that I've seen any parents here in 3 dimensions in this way. I was appointed in June 2020. All of the things that I've done to this point have been remote and 2-dimensional. So it is lovely to see you here this evening. Thank you for coming. Above all else, those students who've joined us, I hope you have a lovely evening, find out all sorts of things about what a fabulous place Norton College is. I always think that probably the most significant, if you like, salespeople of a school are the students. And I'm just going to start by playing a short video of some of our students at Norton telling you about their experiences since they've joined.
Achievement really means a lot to me. I think being rewarded for the work that you put in and getting the achievement of those rewards out is really, really important.
Having self-belief and believing in yourself is very important, and you can also believe in yourself much more with the help of the teachers.
I think pride is my favourite Aspire value because I take pride in my work and I have pride in everything I do.
Mine is independence, because as I go through the school year, I get more work that I have to do myself, and I've learned not to rely on others.
There's lots of respect around Norton College, especially with the teachers to the students.
Engagement means the most to me because there are lots of extracurricular clubs that people get engaged with, and lots of them help people getting to know other students in the school.
It was very different to primary school because we were used to being in one class.
It's just a positive place to be in.
The work's a lot harder in secondary school.
Everyone was just really nice to me, students, teachers and everybody.
My first week at Norton College was really good. We got to learn different things and we sort of looked around the buildings.
I feel pretty settled since all the teachers have made me feel really welcome.
I feel like I've settled in really well and I've really enjoyed learning new things that I never got to learn in primary school.
Everyone was a lot more friendly than I expected.
At first it was scary because I only knew a couple of people, but once I got into my lesson I was like, oh, they're actually people I know. So I was okay.
I've been a part of the student leadership team, which has given me the opportunity to be a role model for other students who are on transition days and open evenings, and it's improved confidence for a lot of people.
So as I say, I think students are really the people who will tell you it as it is, and we've got absolutely loads of students from our student leadership team around the college tonight. Feel free to ask them questions, and I'm talking to all of you students in particular. You know, this is a big move. It's a big decision where you go for your secondary experience, but this is a fabulous school, and you will hear shortly from a couple of our older students, our head boy and head girl about their experiences here. So I just mentioned earlier that I joined the school just over a year ago. And my background is I was at Fulford School in York as the senior deputy for 15 years. And an instrumental part of moving that school to become, as it was, it was voted the Comprehensive School of the Decade by the Sunday Times a year ago. And that's an experience that I bring here. This is a really, really strong school with hugely positive pastoral systems and excellent outcomes alongside. But we are on a journey of improvement, and you are part of that. The vision that you see here is a vision which is more than a kind of wall dressing. This is very much at the core of what we do. What are we standing for as a school? Why did I come into education 30 years ago? And it is that first statement there about creating an inclusive and caring and safe environment where children do thrive academically, where they do thrive socially, and which is recognised as outstanding. And that is not just about an Ofsted badge, that is about a place that you're happy, that you're comfortable, that your children are happy in terms of their daily routines. I would want my own children to come to this school, and I can't give you a better endorsement than that. Many of the school's staff send their own children to the school, and again, that typifies really a school that is successful for me. The family feel that we often talk about at Norton College is very much at its core. And you can see some of our new Year 7 students who are not that new any longer on their first day, excited, anxious, nervous, all those things. And that is really a day that typifies, I think, what we stand for as a school, because within minutes, they've moved to a point where within their mentor groups, they're pulling funny faces, feeling comfortable, making new friends. And that is something that really appealed to me about Norton, and something which absolutely sits at the heart of its success. But that is not at the expense of academic success, because the school has at its heart a core of real academic strength. And that for me is a non-negotiable passport to success in later life. And we have a very strong and even further developing curriculum. Teaching and learning is really strong here. We have subject specialists in subject areas delivering engaging, dynamic and effective lessons across the college. The Aspire values you just heard the students talking about, and the Aspire values are again more than kind of wall dressing. These are what we stand for. They sit at the heart of our recognition system in the school. They sit at the heart of all that we do. They were done long before my time here, but I absolutely don't intend to change those, because that is what Norton College stands for. It is our job to nurture children. It is our job to grow children into individuals that really positively contribute to society as a whole. And that image there really sums up, I think, what we stand for as a school. But secondary school is more than that. Secondary school is bigger. This is not actually a huge school. I've worked in schools which are significantly larger than Norton. It's 800 students, and that means we get to know children individually. We get to know you in person in a way that some other schools are not able to. But we have resources, we have facilities that primary schools simply don't have. Take your opportunities here, because this is the first of many stages towards big success in life. And we really encourage children to engage. In fact, that's the E in Aspire values. I very often use the image of a bumblebee, because so often I hear children say, I can't do it. And we add the word yet to that. And the bumblebee, as you may know, is a kind of miracle of physics. It shouldn't be able to fly because those little wings shouldn't enable it to take off. We know it does. And that is a metaphor really for what we stand for. We are enablers of children. That's what we stand for in the school. British values sit at the comfortable heart of what we do. Respect, liberty, rule of law, democracy, tolerance. Those are things within the national curriculum. But again, they are very much at the heart of all that we do here. And as you move around the school today, you will see these boards. These boards make the place look nice, but they do far more than that. They underpin what we stand for as a school. They underpin our ethos. Success is not born out of one miraculous gift you're given. It is about marginal gains, about the little things you do on a daily basis. And that is what we preach across all that we do. Tolerance, diversity, the eclectic mix across society is something we need all of our students to recognise, respect and embrace. I am most commonly asked about the bottom right, and students will often ask me, what does that mean? And what it means, of course, is to be kind. And I think too often that is a value that is overlooked in schools. We absolutely want everyone to act with kindness, and we do that proactively across our community. And that family feel really typifies that. And the last two slides here, for me, are the things that I've come back to in 30 years of education the most often. The top one is about aspiration. The top one is about reaching for the stars and achieving them. High aspirations are at the heart of anyone's success. And that Aspire logo, again, is at the heart of that quotation there. And at the bottom, Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That is why I came into teaching. That is why I'm the head teacher here, because actually we can make the world a far, far better place through all that we do here. And those values that underpin Norton College really are central to that principle. I'm really pleased to see you all, as I say, in 3 dimensions. I am going to hand over at that point to Sam and Hannah, our head boy and head girl. Sam and Hannah.
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name's Sam Spencer. I'm head boy, I'm currently in year 13 and I'm studying performing arts, production arts and creative media production.
I'm Hannah Main Prize, I'm head girl, I'm also in year 13 and I'm currently studying physics, chemistry, maths and further maths.
Following on from what Mr. Johnson said, we really do believe that this school has a proper family feel. I've always felt that since year 7. This is my 7th year here and I don't think that has changed. If anything, it's improved. All the teachers are really friendly. You'll meet people that will probably be friends for a really long time. I've got friends that go way back to year 7, even though they're people that I'd never met before in primary school. And we really do cherish that family feel. And I'm not just saying that, I genuinely do believe that, that this school has that family feel.
Yeah, definitely. I think the teachers really help that. So if you've got any problems, so you're struggling with your work or you're upset about something or you're worried about something, you can always go talk to the teachers and they'll always help you. They'll always make you feel like you're being listened to and stop you worrying about it. And they'll always help you to understand the work and definitely make sure you understand everything.
And I think the good thing about having great teachers, which we do here, is that a lot of the time they want to work on doing extracurricular things with you. So I've had the opportunity to go on lots of school trips. One of them was in year 10. I went to London for a residential trip. That was amazing, to do with performing arts and media. And also I took part in the school show in 2019 in Beauty and the Beast, and that was amazing. So whatever sort of subject you do, you'll have a great teacher who will want to do extra things with you if that's something that you want to pursue.
Yeah, and I've got involved in Duke of Edinburgh. So that's allowed me to meet different students from different years and different teachers in a way that I wouldn't normally meet them. So that's been really helpful for me. And also the student leadership team, which we're both a part of. That's been really helpful. We get to help out at different events, help the younger years and help out with like touring new teachers. And we get to meet different students, different teachers. And that's been really helpful to build my confidence as well as meeting new people.
And another great thing about Norton is there's a wide array of subjects. A lot of secondary schools, although they have more than a primary school, sometimes they don't have that many. My sister goes to a different secondary school and she was recently choosing her options. And I was looking at her form and I was thinking, wow, I had a lot more choice than that. And that's because there's so many different teachers of different areas, lots of extra things to get involved in. And each of these subjects have lots of resources. You know, there's not some that are more important than the others. They're all equal, and so you really have the opportunity to find what you're passionate about, or if you already know, then really get involved in that subject area.
Yeah, I think one of the other main things about Norton College is the transition process. So it starts in year 5. Obviously the year 6s won't have been to the year 5 days last year because of COVID, we didn't have them. But you come to year 5 days, so you get to spend a day in the school and try out different subjects that you might not do at primary school. And then you have the friendship afternoons. So in year 6 you have 3 afternoons where you come up and you get to meet people that will be in your year. And then the transition days. years, and then you get to meet the teachers and people who'll be in your mentor. So that was really helpful for me when I went into year 7, because it meant that I felt more confident on my first day because I knew some of the people and the teachers. So I think that is really good at Norton.
Yeah, definitely. There's a brilliant transition period here, and even if you haven't fully decided where you're going yet and Norton is one of those options, then this really is kind of a part of that transition period already. So I'd really encourage you to look around at all the different subjects you might be interested in. Try and speak to all the teachers, ask as many questions as you want, because they'll definitely answer them, and really enjoy looking around the school tonight, because I think you will get a feel of what we're talking about, and get evidence to back what we're saying.
Yeah, and all the students are really friendly as well. So if you've got any question, anything, nothing's too small or anything, just ask the students, because everyone will be really willing to help. And Sam and I will be around to ask and answer any questions as well. So
yeah, there's loads of students around, so please do ask lots of questions, get involved in all the activities. And I'm now going to hand over to Mrs. Waynes. So thank you.
Okay, good evening everyone. As Sam introduced me, my name is Jess Waynes and I'm Assistant Head Teacher for Teaching and Learning at Norton College. But one of my responsibilities is to lead on the transition process. So I can see lots of smiley faces in here this evening that I had the pleasure of visiting primary schools last week and handing out letters and inviting you along this evening. And on the topic of this evening, I have to say, we're completely bowled over by the attendance. It's absolutely fantastic after what has been a really challenging 18 months to see so many people, as Mr. Johnson's already said, in 3 dimensions. For those of you that did join late and maybe are at the back and haven't heard everything, this presentation will be on our website afterwards, so you can access it through those means. But in terms of transition, and something that Sam touched on there, is tonight is part of that process. Unfortunately, we didn't get to have year 5 days last year for those that are now in year 6. But for those of you that are here this evening and maybe in year 5, we will be inviting you along in March and May of this academic year. What we do as part of the transition process is we have 3 friendship afternoons spread out across our summer term, and you will find a flyer this evening, or you will have been handed one on your way in with those dates on, so you can start planning for that already. We also have the 2 transition days, and we have the evening, and on the evening you would be welcomed back in and you would get to meet your child's mentor and make those final preparations for a September start. In year 7, when you do join us, that first day in September is a year 7 only day, and it's something that our new cohort really valued as they started their journey here at Norton College. We finished the transition process only last week for our new year 7 students with our mentor evening, where you get to have a one-to-one appointment with your child's mentor just to ensure that they've settled into life at Norton College and are happy. We do have a fantastic progress and pastoral care system here at Norton. Mr. Johnson's already talked about the core Aspire values. You will see them tonight as you move around the school, but each year group has a progress leader. Each year group has a team of pastoral leaders, and each mentor group has a specific focus for their year group. The progress leader is dedicated to monitoring the progress of your child in that year group and will follow them through their year 7 to 11 education here at Norton. Before then, they move on to 6th form here. The pastoral leaders work really hard to ensure that collectively they support the students with the care that they need, especially when they join us in year 7. And you will also tonight, as you move around the school, see a lot that we do in terms of our recognition culture. Our students are rewarded with weekly praise, hot choc with the head, and half-termly celebration assemblies. Our teaching groups for your child that may join us next September, the year group is split into 2 halves for timetabling, and the groups are created through the close work that we do with the primary schools. We had the pleasure of only working with Norton Primary on Monday evening this week so that we can work more collaboratively, and we're looking to develop that across more primary schools within the local area. But we also take gender into account when creating these groups. One thing that we do ask all students to do when joining us is on their admission form, make a preference for 2 friends they would like to have in their mentor group. We think that having that, although they come here and they make new friends, the settling in really does enable them to be successful by having those 2 friends that they know well from primary school. Sam and Hannah touched on the extracurricular offer that we have here at Norton, and it really is fantastic. And it's something that the staff are really looking forward to bringing back more and more as life returns to normal. But Hannah is going for her Gold Duke of Edinburgh award, and Sam did touch on the residential trips that we have run to London. But on a daily basis, we have different clubs and activities, various sports clubs, chess clubs. We have a home learning club after school to support children as they learn the different ways that we tackle home learning in secondary school, which might be different to what they're used to at primary. But the music department is something that we're also extremely proud of, and that links very closely to our annual school production. And this year we're doing School of Rock, so feel free to come along and watch that when that happens in the spring half term. And then finally, before I move on to the operational elements and we all move out of here safely, I do have the responsibility of looking after and leading our student leadership team. And we do this focused around 5 really important and key groups that we are moving forward in life at Norton College. I've been presenting assemblies all week to different year groups, and the number of students that are interested in being part of that and going that extra mile and committing themselves to the community of Norton College is really fantastic. And I would encourage your children to think about joining when they come up in September.